Hello. You're muted, I think.
There, how's that?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are things in not Winterland?
Oh, it's nice. Have you had snow yet?
Oh yeah. We had probably 5 inches, I think, last week at the beginning. So still hanging on.
Hmm.
You guys don't vacation to winter places?
We ski.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
Yeah, but I haven't been actually in about 3 years.
Yeah.
My family goes, but I don't go as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to try to share my screen. Can you? And who's the host?
Kim acts as the host. Kim, are you here now?
Okay.
I think Kim is our tech wizard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me a couple minutes here.
Okay. No rush.
Yep.
Eddie, I had
Okay.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead and give it a try.
Okay. Let's see. Share screen.
Beautiful. We can see it.
Ah. Okay. There you go.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and I'll pick back up later.
Good. Hi, Mary. Happy New Year.
Hi, you too. Good to see everybody here today already.
Eddie, I wasn't sure if you would come in with your own name or if somehow I had sent you my link and you would have been here as Deirdre as well. So figuring it out.
Well, it worked out. So is everybody still working virtually?
I'm still going into the hospital. I think quite a number of us are still coming in here. But Kim, are you working virtually or are you going into the Y?
No, I'm here in the office at the Y.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm multitasking right now. So
Sorry.
Don't worry about that.
okay.
Work away.
Hi,
So-
Kyra, you must be a student Rotarian, or
What's that?
I just noticed that Kyra joined us. She must be a student Rotarian. It's nice to have you.
Thank you. Very nice.
I was in Rotary for about 25 years till they kicked me out.
What did you do?
Yeah, what do you do to get kicked out?
Well, I travel about 18, 20 days a month, so I was never here for meetings.
Ah,
So actually, I didn't get kicked out. I met with them, told them that I was delinquent and it was not going to improve. And so they let me hang on for a couple of years, but I felt guilty. I felt guilty that others were meeting and I wasn't. And I just felt, I was a Paul Harris, I think it was for a few years, and loved Rotary.
well, there's still time to join again.
I doubt they would let me back in. They know me well.
Kim, would you mind putting up the agenda for today since I don't have it in front of me?
Mary, it seems like whenever I show up at 12:15, I feel like I'm about 15 minutes late. It really is the official start time, huh?
12:15 is the time.
All right.
Yep. Kim keeps us right on track, though. We start at 12:15. Thank you. Okay, got it. Thank you very much. Hi, Betty. Happy New Year.
Sorry, I guess I was on mute. Happy New Year to you too.
Oop, me too. I figured it out. We need a chat topic while we wait.
Hmm.
Mary, how about first vacation you'll take after you get vaccinated from COVID?
I love it. Can
Oh
you add
boy.
that? Can you add that, Kim, to our agenda?
First international Rotary trip we'll do after we've all been vaccinated.
Yep. Seems amazing to contemplate travel.
Ugh.
Oh, that's a great idea, Deidre.
I just sent that to you privately by mistake. I'll pass it into everybody.
Oh yeah, that's a great one for everyone.
awesome.
Deirdre knows how to think big.
I guess. I just wonder if we'll be vaccinated by June.
You got to think more positively.
I know, I know. I'm going to try to do that this year.
Yep.
Up 135. How can you see that?
So Deirdre, excuse me, I remember that our last meeting, we did not have time for happy news. And I know you had some happy news about Phil the Rig, so I hope you'll share that today.
Is muted again. Absolutely, Mary.
Yeah. Welcome to the folks who are joining us now. Encouragement to participate in our chat exchange here where we're dreaming about vacations once everyone's been vaccinated. For those of you who have joined us recently, we're inviting you to join our chat conversation where we're all dreaming about traveling and vacations.
I didn't know what she said.
Just welcome people to join, kind of pointing out the question that people are chatting about, discussing, but I can't hear any.
No.
Okay. 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 Yeah.
It looks like everybody's on mute except us. There's a little.
Mary, are you still here? Okay, she just texted me that she's restarting her computer, so. So Matt Garber, I see you're on. Hi. Would you want to get us started while Mary's rebooting? And I can pull up the agenda here.
Those are working. You need to have your phone on. I didn't know.
Sure, I can try. If I can get off on mute here.
Okay.
All right, so we'll, I guess, thanks everybody for attending. I'm pitch hitting for Mary. Matt Garber here. Welcome for the first meeting of 2021. So let's kick things off with the prayer and pledge. It shows here as Betty Bowler is doing that. She able to take over?
Yeah. Let me see where she
There you are.
I was not prepared for this. Sorry.
Me neither.
Well,
No, that's all right. Always someone else more prepared than I am.
Dan
No,
Billings is on the line if we want to call on Dan.
I'll do it. I'll do it. This is Tom
Thank
McCoy.
you.
Welcome, Rotarians. Thank you for being on the Zoom meeting today. And we hope you have a great new year and a prosperous and healthy one. Please bow your heads with me as I pray. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you for the warmer weather. Thank you for the beautiful sky and the sunshine. Thank you for our life. Help us to live in honor of you and to live by the Rotarian creed to be service above self, to give to others more than we give to ourselves. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. I
Amen.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and freedom for all.
Tom, thanks for jumping in for me.
No worries, Betty.
It looks like Mary is back.
I am. Did other people lose their power as well?
No.
Oh, mine just clicked off, so I'll get to reset all my clocks, I'm sure.
Huh.
So I apologize. Can you tell me where we are on the agenda? Are we ready?
On guests.
Oh, introduce guests. Okay. Do we have any guests today? Okay. If not, Jackie, would you like to introduce our student Rotarians, please?
Absolutely. I have two students joining us today. We'll start with Kyra Feldman. Kyra, if you can come off of mute and turn on your camera.
Can you see me?
Yes, you're looking wonderful.
Okay, I'm Kyra Feldman. I'm a 12th grader at Marshtown High School. My dad, Rusty Feldman, works at Feldman Financial, and my mom is Connie Feldman and works at Iker Associates. In high school, I've played many sports, including basketball, softball, volleyball, and golf. I've also been involved in Student Senate, Students Making a Difference, National Honor Society, Mentors and Advisors Program, and Big Brothers Big Sisters. After high school, after I graduate in May, I plan to attend the University of Iowa on the pre-pharmacy track, and I hope to get direct admission into the pharmacy school there.
Thank you, Kyra. Drake, Polly.
All right, can you see me?
Yes, looking good also.
Thank you. So I'm Drake Polly. I'm a junior at Marshalltown. My parents both do real estate at 5-Star, Kurt and Kristen Polly. At the high school, I play golf and basketball. I'm involved in Students Making a Difference and National Honor Society. And I don't know where I'm going to go yet, but I want to major in biology.
Well, thank you, Kyra and Drake, for joining Rotary today. We hope that you can join us each Tuesday during the month of January. Normally, I'd say please rotate among the tables and visit with lots of Rotarians, but I think that virtually you'll be able to enjoy our wonderful programs. So thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you. And I second that and thank Jackie for arranging for these great folks to join us. Okay, at the first meeting of the month, we have the policy or habit of recognizing people with birthdays. And Linda Havelka will help us celebrate the January birthdays.
Well, thank you. I'm in great company for those who have January birthdays. Thomas Apgar, Larry McKibben, his birthday is today. Matt Garber, my neighbor who I never see. Kelly Thurston, Abigail Peltzer, Kevin Swartz, David Wilson, Joyce Miller, Miguel Gutierrez, Douglas Boyd, and Jessica Kinzer.
So happy birthday. We'll have to imagine Arlene playing the piano and all of us singing to you. So we might have to do a remedial birthday sing when we all get together again. Thank you, Linda. Okay, we also want to recognize those whose membership in Rotary anniversary is during the month of January. We have 16 members who we want to acknowledge, and most of them are here. So I'm going to ask if when I call your name, if you'd at least give us a wave of your hand so that we can all see you. First of all, Amanda Akola is celebrating her 4th year of membership. Unfortunately, Amanda was not feeling well today and may not be joining us. Dan Vellinga, this is your 4th year as a member of the Marshalltown Rotary Club, and I see you waving. Thank you, Dan. We're glad to have you. Erin McGregor is celebrating 5 years of membership in Rotary. Erin, are you there someplace? I bet. Okay. Jackie Wyatt is also celebrating 5 years. Karen Gregory is celebrating 8 years of membership. Karen says she does not have a camera on her computer, but we celebrate you anyway, Karen. Rhonda Miller is 8 years of membership. Mike Tupper, excuse me, Rhonda is 9 years, and so is Mike Tupper, 9 years. And so is Sarah Rosenblum, a 9-year member of our club, Sarah. Dr. Laura Lasik is 11-year member. Laura, I hope she was able to join us. Now we're jumping up to really long time members. Sue Martin is celebrating 20 years as a member of Rotary Club. Hi, Sue. Yay. Matt Garber, 22 years. As well as A.B. Chatterton. I don't know if A.B.'s joined us or not today. Doug Reese, this is your 26th anniversary. I know you're on with us today.
Long time.
And Jim Goodman, I'm not sure if he's been able to join us, but he also is celebrating 36 years as a member of Rotary. And Larry McKibben, on your birthday, we want to celebrate 38 years as a member of the Marshalltown Rotary Club. It's great to have you. And the most senior member of the January birthday group is Don Zorn, who this is his 50th year as being a Rotarian. Don is not with us because his wife has cancer and he is caring for her, and he gave me permission to share that with the group. So we are certainly thinking about both of them. So let's give everybody a big round of applause. What a great group of Rotary members. It's great to have you. Thanks for your consistent involvement. Okay, by way of announcements, just to let you know, at our last meeting, which was December 15th, there were 42 participants by Zoom. Todd, I see that you're on and we're ready for some news.
All right. right. Happy New Year, everybody. The Marshalltown Police Department has announced the promotion of Chad Hillers to the rank of sergeant and Officer Andy Cole to the position of sergeant. Sergeant Hillers has served the Marshalltown community for the past 15 years and has been instrumental in developing officer training at the Marshalltown Police Department. He also has served as a field training officer and firearms instructor for the department. Sergeant Cole is a Marshalltown native, graduating from Marshalltown High School in '99. Sergeant Cole is recognized for his work as a drug recognition officer across the state of Iowa. He has been a DRE since 2012 and in 2014 became a DRE instructor where he teaches new DREs from all over the state of Iowa. The Marshalltown School District hoping to let bids on 2 heating and air conditioning projects in the near future, one for the Marshalltown High School and the other for Anson Elementary School. If the bid process is successful, it's hoped both projects could begin this summer. A series of federal tax breaks are now available for many Iowans who took a financial hit from last summer's derecho. Now, the new law waives penalties for individuals who make early withdrawals from their retirement savings to pay for storm-related expenses. Businesses in the derecho zone that had to close temporarily but kept paying their employees are eligible for a tax credit. Low-income workers who had their hours cut will be able to use their 2019 income to calculate tax credits that would otherwise lose or be dramatically reduced. There are some changes in the deduction for charitable giving to encourage donations that support derecho recovery as well. Now, these tax changes originally were in a bill introduced by Iowa Senator Joni Ernst that was later added to the piece of legislation President Trump signed in late December. Sales of the Powerball and Mega Millions lotto tickets have slowed considerably during the pandemic, but jackpots for both are now above 400 million. So winning both of those would give you more than $800 million, but the odds not in your favor to win both. It's 1 in 88 quadrillion. That's 88 with 15 zeros behind it. If you were to try and win both jackpots, that tells you how long those odds are. The Mega Millions drawing is tonight, and it has an estimated prize of more than 410 million. And the Powerball drawing is Wednesday with an estimated jackpot of more than $432 million. Finally, John was at a New Year's party. He turned to his friend Dave and asked him if he could borrow a cigarette. Dave said to John, "Borrow a cigarette? I thought you'd made a New Year's resolution to quit smoking." "I'm in the process of quitting," replied John with a smile. "I'm in the middle of phase 1. Dave asked, "Phase 1? "Yeah," John said. "I've quit buying them."
Thank you, Todd. We have happy news next on our agenda. Who has happy news?
Hi, Mary. This is Deirdre. I have some happy news.
Go for it.
Yeah, awesome. Every year, our ambulance crew, they started this in 2014, goes out in front of a local retailer and collects toys and other presents to contribute to the Salvation Army's annual drive for Christmas presents. And this year, because of COVID, they weren't able to line up in front of a retailer and do that because we wanted to keep everybody safe. So instead, the foundation did a little bit of fundraising. We raised just over $3,500. Our crew got out and purchased over 360 toys and other gifts to leave with the Salvation Army to go home to families who needed something to give to their kiddos, which just thrilled the team so much. That's the most shopping they've ever been able to do. And especially thankful to Rotary, who contributed $250 towards that endeavor. So that's my happy news. Thank you very much.
That is indeed happy. Thank you, Deirdre.
Mary, I have some happy news. This is Carol.
Great, Carol.
I'm going to show you Adrian Ray. She is my first and new granddaughter. And so I'm sharing 2 things. She has her Iowa State outfit on, and I was admiring Betty's Iowa State shirt since it was a good week for Iowa State. She was born December 15th.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, I can follow that up. I am a new grandma as of December 5th. My grandson was born a month early and he had been in the NICU, but 2021 started off great because he came home on January 1st. So we are happy to have him and his mom finally home. So
that's wonderful news. Any more happy news? Carol alluded to the Fiesta Bowl win. That's certainly happy news for us Cyclone fans.
This is Bonnie Lowry.
Oh, go ahead, Bonnie.
Bonnie Lowry. I'm back at work. I've been home for 5 weeks with a broken kneecap. Yesterday I came back to work, slept like a baby last night. I'm hoping that I'll sleep like a baby again tonight with a little extra workout walking up and down the hall. So happy to be back at work.
Great.
This is Theron. I was thankful that on Christmas Day and a little bit into the next, I got to spend about 24 hours with my 3 grandsons, which was the most sustained time that we've been able to spend since September. They're the sons of my oldest daughter. My youngest daughter, who lives in Memphis, who we haven't seen since Christmas last year in person, her and her husband had been trying for some time to have their own child, and they announced on New Year's that they are expecting in July. So we're super excited by that. And I'm the only family member that's predicting it to be a girl. So we'll see how incorrect I am. We have to balance out the boys.
I see a lot of heads nodding on that one. Any more happy news? Well, great. We appreciate all of you sharing your great news with us. Today's program will be introduced by Deirdre Grindler.
Hey, everybody. I hope today's program will be of interest to all of us as people who are committed to our community, as folks who serve in nonprofit organizations, either as board members or as leaders, or as even someone who's a financial or other estate advisor. I'm really excited to introduce to everybody Eddie Thompson. Eddie has worked with individuals to leave billions of dollars to the charities they care about. He has a unique process that focuses on the needs and interests of the individual, that provides recommendations that the individual can implement through their own attorney or other estate planning advisor, and that impacts the world in far greater ways than they could have imagined. Eddie is the founder of Thompson & Associates. Thompson & Associates uses an independent, confidential planning process that clarifies values and reduces uncertainty, freeing individuals to make a lasting impact on their family, community, and on the world. He serves as the chair of the Charitable Estate Planning Institute, a 501c3 public charity offering top-level education on charitable estate planning. He is also a fellow in charitable estate planning. A native of Florida, Eddie and his wife Cheryl have been married for more than 40 years. They make Nashville their home. They have 2 sons, 1 daughter, and 4 grandchildren. Eddie and his family are involved in many community organizations and in their church. He is an instrument pilot with both land and seaplane ratings. Eddie travels to Iowa once a month, today via video conference, to work with Friends of Unity Point Health. He's with us today to share with us some of the insight he's gained in working with individuals and families to positively impact our world. Eddie, with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Hey, thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. I really enjoyed listening to the good news. It put a big smile on my face, and especially hearing about grandchildren. I'm resisting showing you my grandchildren's pictures, but we'll move on. That's not the topic. I have included a PowerPoint that, if you don't mind sharing this with everyone, because I have more information in here than I can cover in 10 or 15 minutes. But I want to talk just briefly about most common mistakes we see in estate planning, and then proposed tax law changes, which I do want to spend just a moment or two looking at, because they are substantial. It's an amazing change in tax law, depending, of course, what happens today in Georgia. And then some things that people can do to address the future. So 7 common mistakes, and I hope there's estate planning attorneys, accountants, investment advisors on the call today, because they're really important partners, as we'll talk in just a moment. The biggest mistake we see is that people often do not have an estate plan. Now, to me, that is shocking. but it's still, you know, you see a statistic that 70% of people do not have a will. I've got to tell you, that's not our experience. We see most people we see do have a will, but number two, often their estate plan and their wills are not current. As we'll see in a few minutes, I think we're going to see a real rush on replanning as we go forward based upon new tax laws that have been proposed. A third mistake we see is choosing the wrong person to handle your estate. And we often look to our heirs as individuals who ought to serve as an executor or trustee. My advice that it's better to have someone who's not personally involved if you want to avoid family conflicts, which we see too many of them. And estates are often settled during an emotional period of life. And the worst thing I see is family conflicts. And I hear frequently in planning, people say, well, my children will not do that. I hope you're right. But the best advice I could give you is to have someone serve as executor or trustee who's not personally invested. We love to use commercial vendors such as banks or trust companies or other professional advisors. Number four, not transferring your life insurance policy into a life insurance trust. If you have a nice sized life estate, life insurance policy, you ought to talk to your advisors about using what's called a crummy trust or a crummy provision, which doesn't mean it's bad. It's named after a dentist who fought that in courts. But it really makes a lot of sense to do that, especially going forward. Not taking advantage of federal exemptions. As you'll see in a few minutes, federal exemptions are likely to change. But I got to tell you, the biggest mistake I see are people procrastinating, staying current with their estate plan. I'm amazed how often people are getting ready to go on a cruise to Mexico or the Bahamas, and they rush and get a will done, but it's not necessarily been thoughtfully done. It kind of puts professional advisors in an awkward position. So the best advice I can give there is to plan at the first of every year to review your plan, especially if there's major tax law changes or if your circumstances have changed. You need to get in and see your attorney, your accountant, your investment advisor, your trust officer, whatever professional person you see on a frequent basis. And then the other part of this is, I've already mentioned in procrastination, but not meeting with experienced legal, financial, or tax professionals. They're there for a reason. These folks are knowledgeable, they are experienced, they're seasoned, and sometimes it's good just to have a sounding board. So I really, really would encourage you to make arrangements this year to sit down with a professional advisor, someone who has your interest in mind, to help you plan not only your current lifestyle, but also your estate plan. Now, I also want to take just a few minutes to talk about some of the changes that have been proposed under the Biden-Harris tax proposal. And these are really, really dramatic changes. And I just want to mention a few of them just so you have an example. This is really, really important information. And this is why you really need to sit down with a professional advisor beginning the first of this year and make sure that your current plan is current with tax law. Now, the first is preferential treatment for capital gains and qualified dividends. The rate has been historically 20%. That's being raised to ordinary income tax proposed rate at 39.6, almost a doubling in capital gains tax. Ordinary income tax, the highest marginal rate currently is 37. It would move to 39.6, which is not a dramatic change, but it is a change. The other part on it that I did not list, two other things. One that impacts this. One is the wealth tax that's been proposed on a certain percent of everyone's estate over a certain dollar amount. I don't know if that will happen, but then the itemized deduction for charitable giving, where the highest is currently 37, would be reduced to 28, and reinstatement of the P's limitations. and then gift tax and estate tax. And this is another big one for individuals who are farmers or business owners. The current rate is that each can have, a couple can have $11,580,000 deduction. That's the sunset in 2026, and it would drop back to 6 million at 40%. It's been proposed that it be 3.5 million, and we've heard anywhere from 40 to 45% on every dollar over that. And if it's a qualified plan, you would also have income tax consequences as well. But the other thing too that I think is really going to impact Iowa is the basis adjustment at death. Currently, if I were to die and leave my children an unrealized asset, a capital gains asset, they would get the basis of today if I were to die today. What has been proposed is to remove the stepped up in basis. So you would get my children would get my cost basis for tax considerations. That is something really to be considered if you're in Iowa and you're a farmer and you own quite a bit of farmland. We'll have to see what comes out. You know, the good thing about politicians, they don't always do what they say they're going to do. So we don't know if these tax law changes will be this dramatic, but if they go as proposed, we're going to see some major changes. And then here's some things that I'm just going to leave for you all to look at later. Here's some things that you ought to consider if 2021 looks like it's going to be a high tax year for you because of tax law changes. There's a lot of really common sense approaches. And this is a time for you, again, to be spending time with your attorney, your accountant, your investment advisor, your trust officer, those individuals that you really trust. This is a really important time to pause and reflect about your goals, and then to sit down with someone who has an unbiased interest in helping you formulate a plan going forward. The truth is, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen in Georgia, but if everything continues on the path that it's been established, taxes are going to go up for another reason too, is that because of COVID, we have spent so much money in the country. I mean, the debt now is over $30 trillion. Taxes have to go up. The country cannot be sustained on this path without increased taxes. So the one thing I can guarantee you in the future is that taxes will increase. How much, I don't think anyone really knows at this point in time. So I can pause for questions. I've tried to keep within the time limit. I love Rotary. It's a great organization. I know Marshalltown has been through an awful lot in the last few years with all that's happened and taken place. But I've also got to tell you, I drove through there a couple of months ago, and you are a resilient bunch. It's very impressive to see all the construction, and I know you've been through a lot of challenges, but boy, you're hardy, strong people. You ought to take your right hand and go past your left ear and pat yourselves on the back, because you're exceptional people and you've done amazing things. So I don't know if I should take questions, if there's time, or you can email me. I'm happy to get emails if you have questions. My email address is Eddie, E-D-D-I-E, @CEPLAN, stands for ceplan.com. Happy to answer any questions anytime. Always happy to do that.
Thank you. We do have time for questions.
Okay. Make them easy.
I'm pretty interested in your idea number 2 there, where you talk about giving appreciated capital and repurchasing them. Could you talk a little more about that?
Yeah, there's actually a number of ways to do this. One is to work through a charity where you gift stock to a charity as a gift, and then you buy it back at your current basis or the new basis. You know, there's actually several things in here that really make a lot of sense for the exact need. This is one of those times that it's not a cookie cutter plan. It works for everybody. But in the right circumstance, that makes an enormous amount of sense, especially if you're getting near a time that you're thinking about selling your business, or you're thinking about bringing in family members in a business, I would see some farmers doing this as well, but it's a plan that has an opportunity for the right circumstance.
Eddie, this
I'm
Eddie,
sorry.
this is Tom McCoy.
Yes.
You want to address what you think about Roth IRAs and Roth conversions going forward?
Well, I love the idea of Roth IRAs, but I also believe there's place for the more traditional IRAs or other qualified plans. One approach that we really lost in 2020 was the opportunity to contribute up to $100,000. Well, we haven't lost this part, but you contribute up to $100,000 out of your IRA, and it's a non-tax transfer. You don't get a deduction, but it's non-taxable. But the other thing we could have done in 2020 that's now passed us is that I could write a check for a charitable gift annuity and deduct 100% of it. That was pretty amazing. And so I think just looking for those opportunities that make the greatest sense at the time. I don't know if that answered your question, or maybe it wasn't thorough enough, but happy to be more specific if that would help.
Thank you.
Love IRAs, love Roth IRAs and traditional IRAs. If I can add one more comment, let's just think about if taxes are going to go up, it's better to pay them now than in the future. So I think Roths do make a great deal of sense going forward. Other questions?
Yeah, this is Deirdre. I was curious about you talked about life insurance conversion into a life insurance trust.
Mm-hmm. So this is a little bit complicated, but I think I can make it simple by saying this. It's where you take a life insurance policy and you place it into a trust that's referred to in the tax laws as basically a crummy trust. Again, that doesn't indicate that it's a bad trust. It's named after a dentist who challenged the IRS. So the advantage of that is that it takes it out of your taxable estate. And now each year, the beneficiaries of that life insurance policy have to sign what's called a crummy letter, which says they choose not to take the income that is due them and that it's going to be used for a life insurance policy. It's a great tool. It's a great tool. And your insurance advisors or your tax advisors or your legal advisors can help you with that. Anything else? Okay, this PowerPoint, if you don't mind getting this to them, you can all have it, use it. You can take my name off and put your name on it. But I do want to say that I love, the only clients I have are in Iowa. I've been coming to Iowa for 20 years. I grew up in Illinois, but I think Iowa is a better sister than Illinois. And I love you people in Iowa. You are, I don't know if you know this, Iowa is the most generous of all states. Did you know that? And I tell you why I think that's true. I'm talking about financially giving to charities. Everybody thinks it's the East Coast and West Coast. I'm going to tell you why I think it's true. Iowa is so exceptional. Iowa is still the place in the United States where if a farmer hears another farmer is sick, you know what they do. Or if someone really, if a tornado came through and they need chainsaws, the chainsaw crew is out like that overnight. Iowa still cares about community. And that's the reason it's the most generous of all the states in the United States. I thought you ought to hear that. Well, thank you for your time, everybody.
Well, thank you. And thank you for your generous comments about us Iowans. We'll try to keep that going in 2021.
It is true. It is true. Thank you.
Thank you. Next week, our program will be presented by Dr. Russell Adams. So be sure and put that on your calendar. And you're invited now to join me in reciting the four-way truth. Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? I now declare the session of Rotary Club for today adjourned.